Hey, y'all.
Hello.
Happy Thursday.
Happy pre-Friday. And
yeah.
happy anniversary. 5 years. Did we both at the same time? Of course we did. Yay,
We did.
We did. I'm excited.
Welcome to Backcountry Couples.
Yeah, I'm Colleen.
I'm Johnny.
And we're the Cool Quest.
The Cool Quest.
The Cool Kids.
Yep.
That's what Instagram says. We're the cool kids, honey.
That's what Bigfoot says.
That's what Bigfoot says. That is true. He does say that for sure. So welcome, everybody. Thanks for spending our 5-year anniversary with us and hanging out tonight for another episode of Backcountry Couples.
Absolutely.
Which we are episode 34.
Halfway to 68.
We are. And last week we had Jason and Melissa, right?
From Live to Wonderland.
Live Today.
Live
Today Wonderland. Right.
I keep forgetting the today part.
Yeah. So if you have an opportunity, try and
go back and check it out.
Yeah, watch the rewind for sure. It was just, again, fun, good information. And we get like a lot of comments and stuff after, like little bit of notes and stuff like that. People said every time they watch the show, they always learn a little something. And I was like, that's really awesome.
Well, you can learn something new every day.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. You
Try
should.
to.
And you should. Wait a minute. I got to show you our shirts. Are you ready? Look, I love you.
I know.
So if you're a Star Wars fan, you know that. Which I'm not. I am, I guess, by proxy here. But yeah, so he is. But anyways, yeah, so that's our little fun stuff.
It's like pulling a splinter out of a lion's paw to dare to watch a movie.
That is a true story, but whatever. Oh my gosh. So we just want to say a couple things. So one is, let me think here. What should we do? Let's get into what we're doing with Backcountry Couples. Let's do that first.
Right off the hop.
I think we should.
Yep.
Okay.
So we are going to take the summer off.
We are. So we actually weren't going to do a season thing. And then all of a sudden we were just like, you know what? We've got a lot of trips planned.
Yeah, we want to.
Everybody knows that we're all of a sudden have obviously our property is, coming to fruition. So we need time to obviously go on our trips and get stuff prepped up for a property. So our last show is going to be June the 2nd. June the 2nd. So by June the 2nd, you know what that means? We would have chatted with 42 couples. That's crazy. I looked them up today. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's quite a few.
That's quite a few couples that we've chatted with, learned from, and I don't know, just got to hang out.
Made a lot.
And
I
meet
can't even
new
spit it out.
people.
We made a lot of awesome friends. There we go.
It's been and then on all levels too. So our paddling, our trekking, right? So the backpacking world, our camping, just straight up, camping people, and overlanding. So which is pretty amazing. So we're excited to get that going. Happy to say that we actually have just 2 more spots to fill for May, and then we're booked for the rest of season 1. I kind of like saying season 1 now. Now that it's kind of in my head, I kind of like that. So I'm excited for that. The other thing we've got going on is we had a crazy weekend last weekend. We had an opportunity to do something that we hadn't done before.
Oh, you're talking about going to the sand dunes.
So with the couple that was on here a couple of weeks ago, so
Matt and
Michelle,
yep.
They invited us to go to the Silver Lake Sand Dune State Park. And we did.
We went playing in the sandbox.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy.
Jack went diving.
It was open weekend for it, and there was all sorts of vehicles and ATVs and motorcycles and whatever there were, but whatever. Jeeps, so it was kind of crazy. And in fact, we've got a little clip to show you if you want to kind of see that.
Oh, is it? Which one did you?
No, go to video file, honey. No, video file. Get out of there.
Let's see. Where is it at?
Oh. Where'd it go? Actually, maybe go to share again. Hang on, everybody.
Wow.
This is new.
It's not new.
Scroll all the way down.
I thought you had it queued up,
I
Madeline.
did, honey. I don't know where it went. Okay, go to here again. Everybody just talk amongst yourself, just saying.
Anyways,
keep going. I got it.
I'll find
Check
it.
up Jack Water. Type up Jack Water. There it is, right there. Yep. Okay, so this is what we did.
Hold on. There we go. So that's our friend Matt in Michelle's wilderness. That's Artemis Trail Huntress. And here comes me into a deep hole. Barely made it out.
Holy crap. Oh my gosh. That was so much fun. That is crazy.
Anyways, the big trucks like to get into the puddles and make huge ruts. Well, of course, it's all muddy water. You can't see how deep it is. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was pretty wild. That was the first time I did everything. And to me, it was...
water got to the engine. The air filter got a little soggy. We'll just say.
No. That is so true. But yeah, so that was an experience for sure. I think maybe we'll head back. I don't know, maybe.
Oh, we'll go back.
Yeah, but I guess it gets like super, super busy. So we'll just maybe towards the end of the season or something.
During a holiday weekend.
Yeah, it'll be pretty well there for sure. So let's say hi to our chat. Who's all in here? Right from the beginning, my honey.
So, who's in the chat? Well, let's see. We have All Terrain Coffee and Camping.
Jason.
Doc's in the house.
Hi, Doc. I just thought, wait a minute. I just thought you said that where we were was near your son's place. So, yeah, that was cool. We were just, I think, north of that.
Our guests are...
well, I'm glad they're in the house. Well, that's good. My nephews are here.
My mom's here.
Hello. I think you skipped a whole bunch.
No, I didn't.
No.
The Ontario camping couple.
There you go.
Hello.
Rob and Sabrina. Hello.
Billy Bob Joe 94.
Well, hey.
Billy Bob.
Billy Bob. Well, that's cool. Welcome, everybody. Jerry, hi.
Let's see. Who else is in here?
Outside Comfort
Alex
Zone.
Lago.
Alex, hello. That's nice. Jared is here.
Canoe for Change.
Beautiful. Hello, Carol and Glenn.
Hey, guys.
And Mike.
Hike with Mike. Together. Hike with Mike's here.
Yeah, for sure.
And
well, what do you
outside comfort zone.
Well, there you go. Well, cheers, everybody. I am having a celebratory little glass of vina with our dinner we just finished up. So,
egg roll in a bowl.
It's delicious. Anyways,
without further ado.
Yeah. We have another awesome show tonight, but we don't have a show because
without our awesome
friends.
Sponsor at McWick All Natural Fire Starters.
We do. So McWick, they're made in the Pacific Northwest, right? They're all natural, like John says. There's no chemicals in here.
All natural.
Yeah, we love saying that. I know they're really, really awesome. And I mean, they do little custom work. I mean, Patrick made a red, white, and blue. I don't have to say red, white, red anymore because he stopped making the Canada ones. But we have red, white, and blue, which is really, really awesome. So each of the guests is going to get a 4-pack of McWicks. We love them for backpacking. We love them for overlanding. They're in our
burn for 20 minutes.
Yeah. So these are in our overlanding, our Molly panels on the back there, right? Which is really, really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So we take them everywhere, honestly. So they are the deal. You're going to love them. And we're happy to share those out.
McWickFires.com.
Yep.
Pick yourselves up. They have all different size packages. You can buy individuals, or bigger packages and such, or even swag. And if you do, use the code KeelQuest. Make sure you put a space between the word Keel and Quest, and you get 15% off.
That's right.
No space, no discount.
But I feel like if you had a problem, you can say, "Hey, I know the cool kids."
Reach out to us, or email Patrick and his team
right
out there. They'll hook you up.
Right on. So again, if you like what you see, all right. And if you're new here, you always do that really, really well. So you always know where the subscribe button is, and hit the like button, all that fun stuff.
Hit the like button.
You can hit the thumbs down. I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. But I don't think it counts. I don't think it matters.
Who the hell would hit the thumbs down button?
In the YouTube algorithm.
That'd be a beatdown.
I know, right? But whatever. If you're here, you're liking what we do, which is just two backcountry people loving on 2 other backcountry people, like getting to share stories. And John always has this like sitting around a campfire kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's pretty awesome.
Friends would say a fireside chat.
A fireside chat. I know. And we thought about that name, but it was taken already. But that's okay. So We have to share our couple tonight, honey. I'm excited. We've been
The-
talking back and forth.
Audience is like waiting.
Are they on
stalling.
the edge of their seats?
You're stalling.
I'm not stalling. Anyways, here we go. Are you ready for this? So tonight, you want to go up to here, honey, so I can see that? Why?
Nope, you don't need to.
I want to.
Read that.
All right, I'm reading. Anyways, super excited tonight.
5 years?
Honey, we have lots more to
I'm
go.
going to be nicknaming you Alice.
Stop it. I don't know what that means.
Pow Zoom to the moon.
Like Ralph Cramden? You're nuts. Anyways, I love you. See, my shirt says that. All right, let's do this. Super excited. So tonight, our backcountry couple comes from Colorado and just crossed their 40-year mark together. They love 40. Isn't that amazing, honey?
Mm-hmm.
They love hiking, backpacking, and spending quality time in the Colorado backcountry. Together, they challenge each other's strengths and weaknesses while bringing a balanced approach to their goals. Bottom line is they are doing it together. And I can't wait to hear about their raw and unfiltered adventures. So welcome from MAD Hippies Life, Miller and Debbie.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
Hi. First, happy anniversary.
Yes, definitely happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. We appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
It's weird to be on this side of the camera.
Yeah, it is.
Right on. That's awesome. So we always love to say, how we got to know you or how we found you kind of stuff. And Jared, who is in the house tonight, outside comfort zone, who is a lover of the Colorado Trail, did an episode
yes
on and actually I think was Details in. Yep. So Girl Plus Dog is here. So hey, Details.
Oh yeah, she's here.
So they did a live on women and hiking, backpacking the Colorado Trail. And Debbie, you were a guest on that show.
I was.
And
yeah.
I was just like, oh my gosh. First of all, I was like, we're the same. I totally love you kind of thing. And then Miller, you were in the chat because you were chatting as MAD Hippies and we were just kind of, bouncing back and forth. And I was like, we need to know more about these two. And then we just totally, kind of followed each other and whatever and seen each other in chat and whatever like that. And yeah. And then we've actually had a phone call together as well, which was kind of fun. We can talk about that later. But and here you are. So happy to have you.
You guys have been a bad influence as far as us going overlanding now.
Well, welcome to the club.
Once you open that door, there's no turning back.
Right
Down
on.
the
Right
rabbit hole
on.
we
Right
go.
on. So we always love to say, how
we got into backpacking and everything.
Right. But how did you guys?
How did you all get into it?
Well,
Or should say, where did your love for the outdoors start?
Okay.
It was probably me. I was the bad influence there, but it's really different for both of us because we both coming from two different backgrounds and both of them were in the outdoors, but yours was just normal everyday life to you. And for me, I grew up in a city. So every chance I got to go out, I went. Spent a lot of time in Arkansas backcountry with my grandparents. So the Ozarks, was probably one of my first loves.
That's cool.
My mother, terrific outdoor person. She just loved to go outside. She loved to take pictures. So she ruined me at a very early age. I guess one of the biggest things that we would always go out on the weekends. But one summer, and gosh,
she was a teacher.
Yeah, she was a teacher. So one summer, she took the whole summer off, and she bought like this 1972 Cadillac DeVille. It was like a boat.
Sounds like a boat.
That's a land barge.
Is it a land barge? Okay.
And she says, we're going to see every national park west of the Mississippi this summer.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
ambitious.
Just me and my mother. We hit the road. I think we stayed in a hotel 2 or 3 times the entire summer. We camped at every national park. It was amazing. And I knew from that day forward, I was never going to be able to put this away. It was just something that gets in you and stays in you.
That's true.
So
and
every time somebody says glacier, I just kind of rise up because Glacier is like my favorite out of all the parks that we went to. It was just incredible place to go to.
Ooh.
We'll be there in a few months.
Oh my
I'm curious
It's
to
gonna be
hear.
so
Yeah,
exciting.
it's beautiful. It really is.
We're gonna hit Montana at some point about a glacier, but I don't know.
Definitely.
Definitely.
I'm
Okay.
sure so Debbie, did you grow up in a rural setting then? If you're in the
Right.
city boy, okay.
Yeah, it was very rural. So, and my parents didn't camp. They weren't outdoorsy, but we just lived.
Lived in the
You lived
outdoors.
outdoors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know, there were cows and we roamed the pastures and
right.
sort of things. So
Right.
I saw camping as being a city thing, meaning that and as a little girl, I thought, well, people in the city camp because they don't have the outdoors
Right.
at their
Right.
disposal. That's how I saw it as a little girl. So,
Right.
you know, but yeah, so I didn't go out and do that. And
But
Yeah,
didn't you guys meet in high school?
we did. I moved to Texas.
Okay, got you.
um,
Okay.
So
with my mother. And so in high school, we
Yeah.
did meet. So at that point, you know, but I had never camped.
I mentioned camping, and she was like, "Why?"
I said,
Well,
why? I don't understand.
I mean, this is one of the original overlanders here. Think about driving
Oh.
through the cattle fields, getting
My
stuck
dad.
in the mud.
Yeah, that was my dad. He was always driving out with his big old town car and he would take it out. Yeah. So
But yeah, we
yeah.
you know, we met in high school. Neither one of us wanted to be in a relationship at all. It was just, you couldn't walk away. It
Right.
was this magnetism that just would not stop.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you're like, well, I'll call you and we'll talk on the phone. And next thing you know, you're waking up the next morning with the phone in your hand
Yeah.
going, I guess that was a good conversation because we fell asleep on the
I don't know if you
phone.
remember that. The
Stop
phone booths a bit.
it.
Yeah, we did.
And then, you know,
Yeah.
from there, it was like, hey, let me come over after school.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, it's every weekend over at your house. And we were boring teenagers. Don't get me wrong. We would drink coffee and listen to Paul
Well,
Harvey.
Not entirely.
Oh, I love Paul Harvey. I haven't heard that for a long time. That's funny.
Okay,
Yeah, he
well,
was good.
I'll leave you with a little Paul Harvey nugget then. What does Paul Harvey and a russet potato have in common?
Oh gosh, I have no idea.
They're both commentators.
Comment.
Okay, that's
know,
enough. I'll
I
never
know.
do that again.
Oh boy.
No, it's not true. He will do that again. He will do it. Don't listen to that.
But yeah, we you know, it was just everyday thing. It just wouldn't
Oh.
stop. And next thing you know, we're just hanging around on the weekend and being ourselves and doing our thing. And somehow it came up in conversation. Well, we should just get married.
That's awesome.
So
Look what
then-
Doc just put up there.
Yeah, now the rest
and
of the
now
story.
the rest of the story, because
Love
that's
that.
what he always said. That was awesome. Good job,
Yeah.
Doc.
So we
Yeah, that was good.
we eloped in high school. Actually we went to school the next day,
But you know, you got to finish.
but we
school.
were married.
Got to finish. Right?
I didn't know
No.
you guys eloped. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
Well, that's
It
our
was-
spring break of senior year story.
Yeah, there's never been anything traditional here.
Right. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, but-
I love it. So how about MAD Hippies Life? Like, why did you start that? Like, you're everywhere. You're like YouTube and Insta and Twitter and you're everywhere. A blog and a website and
But originally it was just friends and family. They're like, "What are you guys doing this weekend?" Or, "Hey, I saw some pictures the other day. Why don't you put more pictures on
Well,
here?" And
It really.
it just grew.
It's fun. In
Mhm.
2014 we decided we wanted to do the hike every weekend, which
Yeah.
apparently is a thing, right? The 52-week challenge.
It was before it was.
But I didn't know about this, so I said, "Hey, let's do this because as we're getting closer to 50, we need to think about
Don't stop
making sure we're
moving.
moving." And
Yeah.
that's how it started. Was let's just do this, and I wanted to document each trail because we have pictures of all of our hikes, but not each trail sort of documented.
right.
And I said, I want that because people will say, "Hey, you know, do you know a good trail?" We could show them, "Hey, look at this
Right.
video, see what you like." It was just sort of friends, and that's how
Yeah,
it started.
people, they're still getting questions. You know,
Yeah.
where's a good place to go?
Yeah.
You know, this is the level of hiking I'm at, but this is the experience I want to have. And I'm kind of getting bummed out because I have to go all these really easy lower trails and I'm not really getting inspired. So if I can't find something, I might not even do it anymore. So we like to pair people with trails that meet their criteria, you know, not only physically, but you know, they want to be inspired and have that wow factor when they get
Agreed.
there. So we know a lot of trails we've been hiking, you know, forever. And it's like, okay, I got the perfect trail for you.
The distance, the
You
difficulty.
know, we know physically where you're at, so we can put you with a trail that you really want, that's going to give you that wow factor, and it's going to keep you motivated. And before you know it, you're going to be tackling those big trails that you've always wanted to do, instead of going, I'm not inspired. This is no fun. This is, you know, boring.
Right.
So the light bulb just went off in my head, so I'm just going to keep it for later.
It's fun to watch people get really inspired and then come back and say, oh my gosh, I didn't know anything about this.
And the views are amazing.
You know, and it's so the next thing, you know, they're like, I want to do more of that. What else do you have? And, you know, it doesn't take too long. And all of a sudden they're on their own, doing their own thing. And you'll talk to them a couple of months later and they're like, oh, well, this is what I've been doing. And you're like, you got it. You're good.
That's awesome. So you've inspired some people to get out if they're reaching out to you. That's amazing.
That's, you know, that's kind of what it's all about. I mean,
giving them a taste
amongst being out there and just sharing with ourselves and friends and family. I mean, I didn't even know this till recently. My daughter told me your grandson watches all your videos.
I didn't know that.
I'm like, he does? Why? I guess he really enjoys them. So,
well, that's cool.
I know. I feel like none of our family watches our stuff. They might, every once in a while, they might. I think, but that's what we did too. We just wanted to film it and to have a reference, right?
It gives me warm fuzzies because I think back to my grandfather and what he did for me and the places he took me. And I'm like, sometimes I was like, I don't know if we're going to make it home. He had the old 1972 Ford Bronco, and he would drive it in places that you probably shouldn't.
That's crazy.
But he used to get a kick out of it.
The vehicles back then, they were built.
Oh yeah,
they were
awesome. Well, they were built for sure. And Debbie, I think it was your dad. Because I don't know how old your dad is, but my dad is going to be 80 this year, and my dad,
is he really?
He's going to be 80 this year. Yeah, and my dad actually was very fortunate to retire at age 49. Crazy, right? I know. Anyways, but the one thing he's always said to me was, keep active, keep a healthy lifestyle, and just keep moving. So my dad is a very young 80-year-old. Like, it's amazing. And that's one thing that we've always said when we got together. We're just like, we're just not stopping. Like, we're evolving every trip we take, everything we learn is another, you know, part of that. And I feel like you've said that in something before.
Well, my dad had poor health and he passed at 69. And he had said when I would visit him when he was sick, was he wished he had moved more, to always move. That was, and at the point he needed to, he couldn't. He couldn't get up and move. So that was the prompting of 2014, I think, as well. Yeah. We need to do this. We need to make sure we're
stop.
You know, don't stop. And it was, and we do it every week. And the question was, because we'll do it here in Colorado. Oh, the weather's bad. Oh, it's stormy.
Oh, well.
So we got all the equipment. We made sure we had the snowshoes and the warm clothing and hit the trails. Every week.
We've had some miserable days out there, but you adjust and adapt. You come back, you get the right gear and go back out to it, and you're like,
that was a fun trip.
That was Rocky Mountain National Park.
That's what I was gonna say. So this is like, that's in your backyard. Like, so you said, hey, we're gonna start moving, we're gonna start doing stuff. Like, let's get out to our own backyard. So this is Rocky Mountain National Park, right?
Yeah, and the kind of late winter.
Okay.
I forget what the lake is.
That's
which lake was that?
Lock?
The Lock, they call it, just for short.
And we actually were sinking up to our hips in
that was funny.
Even. Yeah.
That was probably the first time we had ever backpacked in the winter, needing snowshoes on, not knowing what in the world we're doing. I mean, we had been there in the summer plenty of times. Okay. So we're like, let's go in the winter time. So we picked a place. We picked a place that we knew. Yeah. We knew how to get there, but we'd never been there in that kind of snow, and we didn't even know that there was a winter trail. We followed the traditional summer trail,
which was tough.
So we're hip deep in snow, going up the side of this hill, trying to get up to the lake. You know, we get up there and we're like, okay, that was tough. We make camp and we're all relaxed and everything's fine. And of course, you don't see anybody. It's hardly anybody's going to show up at that time of year.
Right.
But then the next day we saw these people coming from a completely different direction. And we're like, how did they get up here?
It was
And
Okay.
so we went for a walk that morning, and we found this trail that followed the frozen creek bed,
it was the
totally
Ooh.
packed out with snow. And we're like, that's how we're going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. We just found the loop.
It
No
was-
way.
But it
yeah,
was fun. It was fun.
that was great.
yeah.
Great learning experience.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful place. Summer, spring,
Gorgeous.
fall, winter, it doesn't
It is a
matter.
great part. Yeah.
Amazing.
But another
So-
great learning experience.
Yeah.
Right. And you've had this love of whoops.
Whoops.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Hi. You have a love of backpacking, right?
Yeah.
And then you're just for like, like what's next? Kind of how do we challenge ourselves? And you were like, well, wait a minute, we should take the best and toughest vacation we know how to do. And you start planning this almost 500-mile
Yeah, well,
through hike of the Colorado Trail.
Mhm.
Another- I need this here.
And once again, I said, why?
what's
Why-
wrong with you?
why?
We could just go out on the weekend.
Well, I'm like, look, we can segment hike it. We live here. We could just do it over a couple of years. We could do, half of it this year.
No, it was,
Okay.
But no.
that's one of my favorite parts right there.
Planning.
Just planning.
Planning.
I'll go over it 4, 5, 6 times.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But when you're doing that, your imagination just goes crazy because these are places you've never been. You're trying to imagine based on the books and the information you have, what's it going to be like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I love the planning part, but then you get out there and you're like, okay, adjust and adapt because this isn't anything like the book.
Well, there was
No.
so much
Right,
to
I mean-
see, and I was so excited to see. That was the part
Yeah.
that kept me a little bit motivated, but I questioned.
Oh, it was,
My husband said
that
it.
was a blast. Yeah, you
I
did
did.
question my sanity,
I did.
but
I did.
Right.
uh,
I don't understand.
And of course, nowadays, everybody looks on YouTube and see how people
all the
hike us,
references.
references to certain
Yeah.
hike. But there's always that sense of like, okay, there's two sides of that story. It's like, do you want all that information so you have the ability to see anything, or do you want the other side where it's like, I really don't want to know everything, so I can like experience it firsthand for ourselves and get that initial reaction of saying like,
A little bit of
oh,
surprise.
hey, there it is, or it's like,
Yeah.
oh wow, that's really cool. I didn't know about that. That
Right.
sort of thing. It's like,
I feel like you probably get both too, but I know what you mean for sure.
yeah.
I think
What did
most-
what did you use for planning?
the Colorado Trail guidebook and probably a little bit of the gut hooks, which what do they call it now?
It's far out.
It's far. I think it's called Far Out now.
It's an app.
It
yeah.
is?
The app. It's
Oh, okay.
the original gut hooks. Now they
Okay.
call it Far Out.
Love the
Yeah,
Okay.
between the gut hooks app and the Colorado Trail guidebook, that's all you need.
And we watched a lot of videos.
Yeah, we did. We watched a lot of other people's
Okay.
videos.
And I
I-
liked it. I helped.
I think mostly we didn't want to see what it looks like per se.
Okay.
It was more like logistics,
I agree.
right.
But I mean, nothing can capture it. You
No,
just
not
can't.
the
No
same.
video, no
Yeah.
photo could ever
Yeah.
capture the immensity of the backcountry. It's impossible. And you
Agreed.
get out there and the wow factor just goes off the charts, especially for you. Her sole goal was to get to the San Juans.
Oh yeah.
And
So excited.
I could tell the closer we got to the San Juans, her demeanor was just getting better and better
Yeah.
and better. And you're in the Alpine, you're at 13,000 feet for an extended
I
period of
love the
time.
Alpine. I love
And
it.
it's just
Gorgeous.
amazing.
Yeah. And
Wow.
weekend 6, so the first part of the trail, we hike here a lot on weekends. So
Mhm.
just really familiar with it. And I
Yeah.
was fine with it, but
That's our zone, though.
Yeah, that's our zone.
We love the Alpine.
Yeah, the
If we're going
Alpine.
to go for a hike, all of our hikes start at least 10,000
oh,
feet.
if I have a choice, yeah. Always.
Wow.
No- Nothing below 10,000
Yeah,
feet.
oh.
It's it's beautiful and it's fine.
Right.
But we love the Alpine. So
Mhm.
Right.
between
It's just my
10,
preference,
10
yeah.
12, 13,000 feet, that's our happy place.
That's
Nothing
incredible.
like it. Yeah.
So the Colorado Trail is one of those trails that's actually broken down by
Section.
segments, right? So a lot of people do hi, I'm segment 1, and you film that so you can kind of see it.
Right.
It's not like the Appalachian Trail. People say, oh, I'm starting here and I'm hiking to, I don't know, Grayson Highlands or whatever, but everybody has different goals or whatever, but each segment rather is broken down on the Colorado Trail. And you It was kind of fun. Like we watched it, obviously.
Wow.
We watched
Mhm.
the Colorado Trail stuff, and a couple of the things, like you said, were so fun. So you were like, okay, so we're gonna hike it, obviously, you know, segment 1 all the way through to 28. Incredible. One thing really popped out from the videos is I always call kind of an unintended outcome. So you know how people in the backcountry loved, and I think Mike actually said it in the chat there. It's just nice to get away from people.
Oh, adopted.
And just, you know what I mean? It's just nice to find that spot, right?
However,
But there's also something about going into the backcountry and going, hey, and meeting people with like-minded thoughts. So it's okay to be with people that are like us. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? So
But you don't know that.
But you said that because I mean, you're like, oh, we're gonna escape and we're gonna see nobody. And no, like
that was the sole intention in going out there, was
Right.
to just get away.
right.
Yeah, it was.
And the biggest surprise, especially to me, was these people that we kept meeting and how much they embraced us. You know, as the older couple, you know, they were looking out for us.
They were
And
so sweet.
that felt
Yeah.
kind of weird, but they were good intentioned people.
They were wonderful.
And they
people.
hiked faster than we did.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
They were-
sure.
And
they got to
you
camp way
didn't
before
see
us.
them every day. It was like every 2 or 3 days you would see them, and we all had kind of the same agenda. But you know, every now and again you would all of a sudden see them, and they'd be like, "Hey, Mad Hippies! Hey, we got a great campsite. You guys need to come spend the evening with us." And we would catch
Stop
up. What's been going on? How you guys doing? Is there anything you need? Can we do anything for you? Vice versa. You know, and then like going into Lake City of all places, you know, it was a tough couple of days that we had been through because we were a lot of high altitude. We were coming off of a lot of big climbs. And, you know, we all got down to the trailhead where the shuttle would pick you up, but we were there early. And we were all just sitting around talking about, you know, the last segments we'd been on and how great it was, and the moose that we saw at the beaver ponds and the beautiful views and the sunrise. And this couple walks up and they're like, "Hey, what are you guys all doing?" "Oh, we just came off the Colorado Trail and we're trying to get into Lake City." And we were the last ones to show up because we were the slower ones. And this couple said, "Well, we're going into Lake City. We can give you a ride.
Take 2 of you.
We can take 2 people." And we're like, "Okay, you guys go ahead," because you guys were all here first. And they're all like, "Nope, you guys are going."
Amazing.
So
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
the whole time on trail. It just, all these remarkably wonderful things happen to us.
I love it.
At every trailhead, something would happen and somebody would be there and they would be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you guys need to go into
Right.
town. We can help you."
It was amazing. And
You know, and you're like, "Do I have a horseshoe in my back pocket?"
Yeah,
'Cause
you do.
this is just amazing. Everything is just working out
It is
so
pretty
well.
amazing.
was
But when you guys started the trail, though, you started it with hiking with Mia, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
tough.
So was your intention to hike with Mia the entire time initially?
It was.
I think, yeah.
And it was difficult sending her home.
Yeah,
we
it
were
was.
fortunate. Our oldest daughter was house sitting. So we called her and she works full time. And I'm like, "Can you take Mia too? I know that it's going to be hard. You know, you're going to have to come
Yeah.
straight home from work instead of, you know."
That
She did. We were so grateful that she
Mm.
took the time
That's-
to not only house sit, but to take care of Mia.
that
But
summer was so hot
it
in
was
Denver,
hot.
and the
It-
first
Okay.
you know-
several sections to Kenosha Pass, basically the first 5 sections.
it was hot.
I mean, we're talking 90s almost every day. It
Wow.
was
Yeah.
brutal.
I was disappointed though.
Yeah.
And I think if we had continued on, it'd been fine, but she was so hot and she won't eat or drink. And
Yeah.
so I was worried about her.
A nervous Chihuahua.
And then I got nervous. Oh, I can't. If she's not going to eat, this is going to stress me
Yeah.
out. So
Right.
It was the right thing for her,
yeah.
Right.
definitely.
But I want
Right.
to do it again. If we do this again, we
Yeah.
have 2 Chihuahuas now because, well, you know,
Right.
so, you
Right.
know, we want to take them and we're going to
Yeah.
do it in a way that we can. Make
Okay.
it, so
Even if we just have to segment hike it, you know,
yeah,
just,
if we have to segment hike it. We're
But-
taking-
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Very cool.
it adds a whole nother element.
You know, I was carrying,
you know.
that picture there, I was carrying Mia's 7 pounds. I think
Right.
with the front
Yeah.
pack and Mia, so it's close to what I would say 9 pounds on the front that I was carrying, plus what was on my back, and that was
Yeah.
I looked like being pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Just right in the front.
That's not happening. But yeah.
I was like, oh man. And then she would
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. And well, the one thing I think you said in the video, in one of your videos, or maybe it was a blog actually, was that the way that backpack sat, you couldn't see your feet very well.
And it's hard.
I mean, you're on a rocky trail. Like, come on.
We got rid of that pack after all that.
It's a great pack if it's a level ground, but when you're going up or down, you lose your footing, and you lose your footing anyway. I do anyway. I fall.
Yeah.
I don't know where to put the video. You should put them in the video. I don't mind because I fall frequently.
We use these little slings. They're like baby slings now, and you can kind of put them to the side where you can see your feet.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they're a lot easier.
That's a lot easier. So
like a puppy satchel.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. You can take that. That's okay. And then,
you can get with details. Having a dog on trail, that's a whole new element.
You're hiking,
of course,
hike,
you know, Remington's, that's a lot bigger than our dogs. But I'm sure she had her own, you know, difficulties, because it really throws a whole new element into it. And, you know, you're not only watching after yourself now, but you're watching after your dog. And you've got to know your dog well, because they're going to need to communicate to you how they're feeling.
Yeah, that is so true. So you understood that and said, okay, it's time to, you know, split ways kind of thing and move on.
Or even, I mean, and then if they're still on the trail, you know, when they need to take a rest.
Yeah. And that is true. Like what you said about details. Anybody who has a dog on trail, go check out Girl with Dog. Girl Plus Dog Adventure Store. I mean, we actually learned a few things when they were on with us about with a dog. We were like, wow, I never thought of that. So it's just neat to have the experience and to share it, and again, help other people in the future. Do you know what I mean? So that's really awesome.
It's like hiking with your mate. You know, it's, you know, if you go alone, it's one thing. If you take somebody else, you know, it's completely different. You've changed everything. You know, now you're not thinking just about yourself. You're thinking about your partner. What do you need? How are you feeling? Or vice versa. Right. You know, because when we did the trail, it was this constant exchange back and forth of, I'm having a bad day.
I'm not sure what's worse, if we both could have been having a bad day at the same time, or the fact that we alternate, because it helped maybe. I don't know.
Well, luckily we never did have a bad day at the same time.
We never did. But there was one day I thought, he's like, I don't want to hike, and he wouldn't get up. I'm like,
there was one day I was just like, I'm done today. I just want to stay here.
It was a difficult.
And she's like, okay, it's 2 days that way, or it's 2 days the other way, but you can't stay here.
Yeah.
So,
or you could stay and you're, you know, just lose a day.
But you have to know your limits.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I know we've done that too. And you're almost like not a cheerleader for the other person, but you are that kind of prodder, or we can do this or whatever it is. But there's also something about
pick up your stuff. Let's go.
Yeah, no. But I mean, that happens too.
That was pretty much what it was.
Yeah, right. I know.
Suck it up.
You know how you say you stop and smell the roses. I mean, there's something about taking the scenery in and just, you know, going, wow, you know what I mean?
Well, that was part of the area we were in too, because we did the traditional east side of the Colorado Trail instead of taking the West Collegiate. And Snack Box, I know you're hearing me on this one.
We should have gone.
We're gonna go west. Don't worry.
We're going to go west, but
okay.
I mean, you want to do the east for sure, because that's part of the Colorado Trail, and it's its own beauty. But you just don't get these massive views for the output of energy for these climbs. And you're still in the trees at the top of the climb, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm really up here. Where's the big views?
Is it going up Yale?
You know,
literally like 2 or 3 steps, and I'd stop.
There's 2 days back to back that are just really brutal.
We just stopped on the trail and just sat. Like, we just need a break. On the trail, we need to stop. Someone comes, we'll move.
We got a picture somewhere there, just our feet.
Yeah.
We were just like, I'm done. I need to take a break.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We love breaks. Absolutely. You know, I remember we did a hike a couple years. Oh, there you go.
That was early on.
Right.
That's what is that? That's into segment 2 at Buffalo Creek. Okay. It was so hot.
That was 3, yeah.
That's actually segment 3.
Is it? Okay.
If that would have been segment 2, I'd have laid down in that water.
Oh man.
But it was just so hot. And this is actually where we had got to, and we were starting to discuss, what do we do with Mia? It's just too hot.
Okay.
Right.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
The I feel like in almost every segment I see you guys wading in water.
That was therapy for your feet, because those streams are cold.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%.
I'm sure, and
I learned
they're
quick.
like feel revitalizing.
It is
Yeah.
revitalizing. It is.
So-
I mean, you did that when we were up in Lake Superior.
Oh, I mean in the cove,
Yeah.
McCargo Cove.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
you were like,
I should have.
And I'm like,
I should have just jumped in.
You should have just.
Yeah.
You should have just dove in for
Every-
sure.
I would like to. Yeah.
All of our water crossings, we would generally stop and filter water, and then I immediately started learning. I'm taking my shoes off,
Right.
and I just got my feet in there. It did really well. I never had any foot problems the entire trail.
That's
Mm-mm.
amazing.
No.
That's so great.
My cat, like when we were on Isle Royale, what Kelly was talking about is, I went in. I only went up to like the bottom of my knees, but my calves were like super howling, and it was that ice cold water, and just like like an athlete does those ice baths and stuff like that for their muscles.
That's
and stuff.
true.
And it's huge, and just giving you feel like comfort and revitalized.
Yeah, you're ready for the next one for sure.
I believe there was a canoe trip that you guys took, and somebody went in the water while somebody was waiting and waiting and waiting.
I went, you.
And we're like, is he going to go or not?
We're right. Is he going to go?
Okay. Tell them why you didn't want to go in the water. Okay, so earlier that day.
Are we talking Algonquin?
Yes,
here?
they watched the Algonquin canoe video. So earlier that day, we had went through this beautiful little creek, and we passed. I'm going to say it was this big. A snapping turtle was this big.
Oh.
It was huge. It was like as big as a rock.
Yeah, there's certain things you don't want to get nibbled on.
He's like,
he literally, I mean, his shell from side to side, he had to been 3 feet.
Oh,
it was huge.
Yeah,
and his head, I swear, his head was like that big.
And he's like, there's a snapping turtle in there. And I'm like, you're fine.
I'm like, nope, that wouldn't happen.
You would do it now, honey. You would do it now.
Well, the camera battery died. I did jump in.
Yeah. You said you did.
Go in. He did.
But I wouldn't have gone in. I would not have done it.
Oh, with a snapping turtle trolling around.
It was fine. They don't really want you. It's fine. It was cold. It was very cold water.
40, I want to say it was probably 45.
That was September we went there too. And we're going not that same area, but we're going there in June.
Yep.
And it's going to be cold water. The ice is just getting off the big lake up in Algonquin right now. So it's kind of cool.
Well, they don't have ice out yet.
I think it started.
Has it?
I think it started. Yeah,
I
but
thought it
it's
was
kind of fun.
Usually goes into May.
Yeah.
Do a little practice and jump in Lake McDonald and Glacier when you get there.
He's talking about that.
That's the coldest water I've ever experienced.
We're excited to see that for
doing
sure. Yeah, for sure. Another part of the planning is food.
Yeah.
Food is like, it's hard to even plan like, a 3-day trip or, a 7-day canoe trip that we were on before. But you guys have to plan it, obviously, with the of how far you plan on going. Yeah. And then like resupply stuff. And how did you guys go about doing that? Like, where do you even start?
Well, it was you just kind of went with your average mileage. So we figured every 4 or 5 days we would get to one of the trails or the towns.
I had calculated this. And here's the thing.
This one over here is the super chef.
No, I had this plan. I balanced macronutrients, how many calories you would need, all these things.
Ooh. No.
We got out there. We weren't hungry. We didn't eat the food, right?
Oh, we had great food, but we never ate.
It was all the backpacker meals. I didn't dehydrate anything.
Yeah. You didn't dehydrate? Oh, okay.
But we didn't eat that. So
yeah, we literally just were not hungry.
What we ended up doing, so we'd eat
until we got to town. And then it was like, there's nothing we will not eat in this town.
I remember to Whole Foods at in Frisco.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
nice. They have that where you can get the paper pound.
By the pound.
And I remember to check out the counter. the cashier looked at us and she's like, wow,
You're
somebody's hungry, because big whole thing, because it was, I don't know how many pounds it was. It was crazy.
That was
but
probably the most expensive lunch we've
it
ever
was, but
Oh my gosh.
but at altitude, even when we go up for the day, I don't get hungry. I don't know what that is. So
we donated a lot of our food every town we got to. We'd go to one of the hostels.
Right.
And we would just donate our food. And it became quite the thing because we're vegetarian. So we would get to every town and we would go to one of the hostels. And before you knew it, they were like, it's the Mad Hippies. Do you have any of that vegetarian food? Because there were several people on trail that were vegetarian. Yeah. So they were like, oh, cool. What did you guys bring us? We would just donate our food.
In all seriousness, if we do it again, we had, this is awful, and I don't eat this way at home, but we had Snickers and coffee for breakfast, cold coffee. That's the way we would eat. Snickers.
We didn't even heat our coffee. Just
I did vegan
drank
jerky.
it cold.
You did cold coffee?
Yeah.
It's so hot. It's so hot.
I mean, that's true too.
Yeah. I mean, coffee's kind of maybe a little refreshing than
even at elevation. I mean, after probably segment 19, we were getting frost on the tent every night.
Yeah, that was our breakfast every morning.
That's us in the morning.
And it gives you energy. That Snickers works.
Yeah, it does.
Because you can go up.
When was the last time? I didn't know the last time I had a Snickers bar. When was the last time you had a Snickers bar?
Exactly. I don't even know. Before that, it had been forever. Yeah.
Right.
We just don't eat like that because it's part of our stay healthy. Don't. They taste great, but that's just not good for you.
Who would have thunk that?
But
you burn calories.
Yeah. I lost a lot of weight.
I mean, of course, not eating, but we're the same way. It's like
we don't eat
a ton of carbs and stuff like that. But when you're hiking a lot, you kind of need it.
Yeah.
It's true. It is true.
So you guys are are you like vegan or vegetarian?
Vegetarian.
Vegetarian. Okay. We do some dairy.
Yeah.
Some dairy. Yeah. Okay.
So you do like eggs, and
yogurt.
Stuff like that?
I yogurt and cheeses, but I can't stand eggs.
There's a learning curve for that stuff on trail, definitely. And you have to kind of think outside the box, and we're not big like sugar people, so same thing. So like, okay, wait a minute. So we have to rethink a lot of stuff too.
What vegetables give you the benefits of the energy that you need to hike down.
Did you find the trail towns though? Like you were saying, there was a Whole Foods. Like, was there a lot of options in the trail towns to buy stuff, or not really?
The major cities like Frisco, Lake City was really good for us.
It was a small town.
There was a small little store called Get Some Groceries, I think it was called.
It's called Get Some Groceries.
Yeah, it was right across from the what was it, Town Square Cabins we stayed at, which what a fun experience that was.
Okay.
Great people, really quirky old cabins. Everything was leaning. You could put a ball on the floor and it would start rolling.
Oh, seriously.
It's absolutely the truth.
the store across the street, and this is just another one of those stories of how things worked out for us on trail. It's like somebody was just watching after us the whole time. We found this grocery store across the street, and we went in there, and it was all of a sudden we noticed everything in here is organic.
Wow.
Mostly vegetarian.
We had other things.
There was other things too. And we started talking to the gal that was in there, and she started saying, oh, so you're vegetarian. We're hiking the Colorado Trail. And she goes, well, let me make you some meals. And she put some stuff together that was just perfect nutrients for us, exactly what we needed.
Yeah, it was
and, so we stayed an extra night just because of that, I think.
Right, we did.
And, really ate up the food and enjoyed the people. And just another beautiful town.
Wow, that's amazing.
Salida was another one.
I had a little question here. She said her daughter's vegetarian and hikes with her sometimes. So it's fun finding new things for her to try on trail. Do you have a favorite vegetarian meal on trail? Ooh.
As far as the backpacker meals, it was the Pad Thai. I don't know what brand it was.
Pad Thai's Backpacker Pantry.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. We do like that. We like that too.
Yeah, we have that. But
there's several Good to Go meals is another good
they're
one.
Good.
And I think it's Evergreen Foods or something. I think
never heard of that one.
Recently ran across them. They're out east.
Okay.
Really, really good people. They make a lot
Right,
of good nutrient solid meals.
Okay.
Yeah, they're good to go. The chef up there in Maine, she does an amazing job.
Right. When we were at Cornucopia a couple weeks ago, they were actually there. They had a booth there, and they were saying that they have 3 or 4 new meals kind of coming out in the near future as well. So
I think their quinoa bowl. I think that's one of their big popular ones.
Yeah. So I like those a lot. They were really good. One of the things that you had when you were doing your kind of food loadout stuff was I'd never heard of Harmony House before. What's Harmony House?
That's dehydrated already.
It's just dehydrated. Yeah, it's like individual vegetables, and you can buy packets. You can buy soup packets and put them together.
So like build your own.
So did you build your own?
Build your own. So we didn't want to dehydrate. I'm going to dehydrate. So I put together some meals that way as well.
Okay. Because I wrote that down. I'm like, I got to check that out. That's really cool.
Is all this dehydrated or is it freeze dried?
There's both. There's both. You
can do both.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think my favorite was just very simple. We were doing mashed potatoes with vegetables.
Yeah, I had some
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that was
like
really good to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
It had beans
kind of like a mixed vegetable, like corn and peas and carrot kind of stuff.
To make it, we actually forced ourselves to eat at least once a day.
Yeah.
It just wasn't hungry, so we had to find something that we would actually stomach and want.
Right.
So that pad thai was a day saver. We liked that one a lot.
Yeah.
The Harmony House stuff was great. We ate that up pretty good.
Right.
But they have like little tofu. I mean, it's little like beef tofu.
The TVP.
Like that.
They had the TVP.
Maybe it was TVP stuff. Yeah.
I want to check that out definitely because I've never heard of it.
So being a hiking of that elevation stuff like that, how much longer does it take to boil water?
Not at all. We used a pocket rocket stove.
We have.
We always use titanium, so that really heats up fast. The water boils really fast.
Okay.
We started off with just a typical hiker cup, and I soon found out that if I used a much wider pot, the water level would go down, but it's the same amount of water. It's just not as tall now, and it would boil really fast because it didn't have to go through the top.
Right.
It just spread out.
Yeah.
So our water, a minute, 2 minutes, it's boiling.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We didn't use a lot of fuel at all.
Right. And then, so we always hang our food, right? Or we have never had to have like a bare vault or anything like that, but you guys use like an Ursack this time.
The Ursack.
Right. Yeah. And did you have any issues at all?
Never one.
That's amazing.
Nothing ever messed with our food. We never found it moved.
People did that year though.
Yeah, there were some people.
Okay.
Segment 3.
Yeah, there's a couple of areas that we know of that the bears are there, so we usually steer clear of some of those areas anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
But for us, it's always try not to eat in camp. Definitely don't eat in your tent.
Right on.
And we're just like really meticulous when we do eat. Don't get it on your body. Don't get it on your gear. Don't drop it on the ground. Everything is sterile, and either we just never see them or it's part of that. I don't know.
That's cool.
Right.
Here's a joke from All Train Coffee.
Cutting corn is fun until you slice an ear.
That's a Miller. I'll hear that again.
Oh yeah, I'll use that one again.
That's terrible, Jason. Come on.
Yep.
How were the bugs there? Was it buggy? Because right now, like we're getting into tick season, and I mean, there's ticks like crazy. So we're gonna. Oh gosh, really? What?
No
ticks.
We don't really have ticks, but that's not true. That's not true though entirely.
We have ticks probably 8,000 and below. You might see them.
We can go higher.
Above 9,000, you really never see them.
You see them this time of year.
And then if you do see them, it's only going to last for a month and it's over.
Really?
Wow.
But it dries out here. Once it dries out, they can't.
They don't survive.
Okay.
But
in the Alpine, there are no bugs. That's another reason we love it there.
Well,
right.
Nice.
I know.
Yeah. The only real problem is mosquitoes, and they're only July, August, and then they're gone again.
Right.
you're at. But yeah,
and that's
but
that's when you're around boggy areas and lakes, traditional stuff.
Sure. Like
But
here
on
too.
the Colorado Trail, after segment 19, there were no bugs.
But we started also the
Yeah,
end of July, so we were in August.
We were into
which is
August.
better.
Right.
Okay.
Because if there's one bug, it will find me. It's a mosquito, a tick, a gnat, a fly. It will find me. It will come and
and
find
the
They
Holy
all
Cross
like you,
Wilderness.
too.
It's
Yeah.
awful, isn't it? It's just
Mount
aggravating.
Massive Wilderness and the Holy Cross Wilderness were horrible.
Holy Cross was bad.
Holy Cross, we dubbed
It was-
Holy Cross Holy Mosquito.
There's a picture on Instagram, and I'm sitting on a rock. I'm on my phone checking to see if my kids had messaged me. But I had a net. The head net.
A bug net. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It was so bad. It was so bad.
Yeah.
They bit through my clothes.
Holy moly. Did you guys treat your clothes before you went ahead or no? No, you didn't do that.
I had some natural type repellent.
We don't use anything out here.
But I said if I did it again, I might consider D because it was so bad.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what about fires? Like I saw some of the campsites you were at had fire rings, but never saw
a lot of them do. We're just not fire people.
We didn't, just because it's such a problem.
You're getting into camp, you're getting cleaned up, you're eating or not eating, and you're going to bed. I don't want to deal with a fire.
People do though.
If you're in an area where there's no water, I don't want to waste the water I do have.
Putting it out.
So it's more of a, we just don't want to deal with it.
Right.
If we would have been there.
A fire ban though.
No.
Okay. Because I thought that was a fire ban or something. Okay.
Yeah, it's not out of the question, Colorado. But in 2019, we had a super huge snow season over the wintertime.
Gotcha.
There were no fire bans. There was water everywhere.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just one thing you don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I think once, maybe one fire.
Okay. I mean, I love a campfire.
Yeah. Oh, if we're in camp and it's going to be more than just the night, heck yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're doing like segment by segment. And
keep
going. Yeah. No, because I mean, not too many hikers do.
Right on. That's true. That's true.
I think that's more when there's more than one couple in camp. Our Tramley, we had hiker TV one night.
We had a fire that night.
But it was just kind of a celebratory thing. We're all going to Lake City and we're all talking and having stories.
Yeah.
We had something quite similar where we again when we were at on the Isle Royale at McCargo Cove, there was
the fire ban had just been lifted.
Fire ban on the island just got lifted, and this was last year, of course. And we had
7-8 people.
No, we had more than that. 12,
maybe
12 or 13 people around the campground there. Well, that's not a campground, but it's campsites. And I just walked around and said, hey, we're going to have a fire tonight. And pretty much almost everybody came down.
They did.
We just had just a little fireside communal chat kind of thing. I only found, I could only take wood that was already down. So it was a lot of small stuff. So nothing crazy, and lasted about an hour, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nice.
If you go back, airplane or boat?
Airplane again. 100%.
That just looks so cool.
Yeah.
If you have to do it.
If we when we do get our canoe, that might be a possible. We'll take the boat that time.
Right.
So how long is the boat ride?
Depending on where you come from. So if you come from Minnesota,
it's like nothing. It's an hour. It's like nothing. Yeah.
But if you come from out of
Copper
Harbor, no.
You can do Copper Harbor, you can do Houghton.
Or you can do Houghton.
Yeah.
Where we came out of Houghton. That's 3.5 hours from Houghton.
Yeah.
No, it's 4 hours from Houghton.
Yeah.
Copper Harbor's
long enough on a boat ride on big water.
That's on a good day. And so the days that we flew and the Miss Superior she was like glass.
Wow.
She was
so we were lucky.
There was a white cap to be seen, but
either way, it just sounds like a really cool experience. I mean, you're going hiking, but I got to take a boat or a plane first.
Right. Well,
right.
And that's what makes it amazing for the island.
It's a 45-minute flight. Barely. It's like, I think the flight back only took 35 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was beautiful weather, and it just, the sun was out, but
Put it on your list,
But
definitely.
The risk you take of
It's on the
taking that
list.
boat ride is that it can get squirrely in a heartbeat.
Oh my gosh.
I've had photographer buddies from my local camera shop, and one of their friends was on the boat. 6.5 hour, and the boat ran out of Dramamine.
Oh,
like you, right? I don't think so.
Yeah,
I know. That's
everybody's on the rail.
pretty much.
So
wow.
That's bad.
So you guys hiking to the CT and you're doing all your segments. What kind of trail magic do y'all experience?
Yeah, that was one of the best ones. There wasn't a lot, but the one time.
Oh my gosh.
What was that?
Segment 18 or 18.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh my gosh. Again, here we go with it. We could go on for hours and hours about the things that happened to us that we did not expect, that were just beautiful memories.
Yeah.
And we came out of it. I think it was Mount Shavano.
okay.
Well, that was
we were coming down
14,
into the campground, and to back up, the previous couple of days, we kept seeing all these students on trail.
Okay.
And there was, before we went into Mount Princeton Hot Springs, we were supposed to stop and camp in this one spot, and all these kids were there, and we were like, we got to keep going. There's nowhere left to camp.
There's a school here that they take these kids out. It's part of their.
Oh, that's awesome.
I forget what school it is, but they take them out.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I thought.
What age group are we talking?
High school.
Yeah.
Okay.
17,
15,
18.
16, yeah.
Okay.
But we didn't want to go back, but to go forward meant we're going to be road walking now until we get out of Mount Princeton Hot Springs, but that's where our resupply is on top of it. So we were in a real conundrum. So we just kept walking. There's actually several little stories that happen here.
There were several things that happened.
It would take a long time to really explain this whole event, but to just make it go really quick, we wound up getting a room at Mount Princeton Hot Springs, which we didn't even think would happen because they were full.
They're always full.
Okay.
But for some reason, they just happened to have one open up.
They had a cancellation. Yeah.
But then we got up and we kept going, and we saw the kids again, and we just kept going. And then it was like the following day, we're coming down off the Mount Shavano area into the campground, and here are all these kids, and they're all clapping and cheering, and we're like,
oh my
wow.
God.
They're like, we're turning around going, who are you guys? And they're like, you guys, you're here. You're doing it. You're still doing it. And we're like, yeah. And they're like, come and join us. We have all this food.
You wouldn't believe the food.
And the first thing you think of is like, well, we're vegetarian. We like organic. What are you going to have? It was all vegetarian. It was all organic. It was all kosher. We're just like, oh my God.
It was a girlfriend of one of the teachers, and she had hacked the CT a couple of years before, and she was vegetarian. So they had a full vegetarian spread.
I got goosebumps.
Even gluten-free. I eat gluten-free. Even gluten-free.
Yeah, gluten-free. It was just everything we needed, they had.
She was so sweet. She was.
Oh my God, what a total lifter this was.
Well, because it was a bad morning, and I was like, we were getting ready to go into town. I'm ready to go in. Bad morning. And
just
she was
tired.
we were tired, and she just, oh my gosh, she was amazing.
It was just this big mood lifter. We hiked with her. We hiked with our heads in the clouds the rest of the day.
Well, yeah, so you come off the trail and they're clapping, and you're like, and they're clapping because like, yay!
Yeah, who are you clapping for?
What are they?
I guess, just showing encouragement. I think we had run the day before
that was part of it. There was one of the girls that was really tired, lethargic, was having a bad day. She was in tears.
She was
So we stopped, and one of the counselors was with her.
Right.
And we said, do you guys have enough water? And he was like, well, I think so. But we gave him some water, and we had some snacks. And I think we even had like an emergency or something for electrolytes. And we gave him all this stuff. And we're like, hopefully everything will turn out and it'll get better. Well, it did. She wound up hiking strong later on, but it was just, I don't know. These little things just kept happening.
They remembered us from that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And God, we had this burrito.
Oh my gosh. It was the best breakfast we had in ages.
Oh, it was amazing.
Wow.
Wow, cool. Hey, All Terrain Coffee has a quick question for y'all. So I said, I know you like mashed potatoes, and you mentioned organic. What do you use on the trail for that?
We picked up some stuff at Whole Foods at
Yeah,
one
I don't
time.
remember. I wish I could remember the brand, but they had some flakes, and I think we had
But
used
Harmony House has some as
and Harmony
well.
House had flakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We get dehydrated, like
That's a
we
good
had
question.
milk and things. I'd put milk in,
Yeah,
and you could do things like that
Right.
and get butter. So
that you could do it. You really can. And that's part of our planning, was to make sure we had these items at every trail town, because you can resupply anywhere in Colorado.
Right.
You don't even have to send a box ahead. They all have stuff, but do they have the stuff we need is the
Right.
problem.
Right.
you know, and it's pretty pricey to
But,
send all these things.
Yeah,
So
some of it
if
is.
you can,
Yeah.
But I mean, ultimately, if you did something like that again, I think we could probably almost get away with not sending anything.
Interesting.
It's close.
Okay.
Just depends on where you're at.
Right.
But for
So-
a majority of the towns, yeah.
All right. So after 28 segments, you finished the CT, and of course in all different kinds of weather.
I mean, you guys
and
had
terrain.
snow too, right? Like you were like walking on some snow in some
We
pieces.
walked on snow.
You walked on snow.
That
Right.
snow stays here year round.
Right. Oh, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't go
Oh, okay.
anywhere.
Okay.
Cool. So
That's amazing.
it's
Like
a-
that's
it's
Our weather was perfect.
we had really good weather. We were spoiled. It was great weather.
what did you do to celebrate when you got off trail?
Well, when we were met at the end, someone that we had been hiking
We've been
with,
hiking with. Yeah.
he had someone that was there, and they had drinks, cold drinks,
Yeah.
and we sat down and had cold drinks.
There
with
was
us.
some beers. There
Yeah,
was some
beer.
drinks. There was
Yeah.
some,
Whatever you
like,
want. Yeah. So we
Hell
sat
yeah,
down.
boy, we were dirty and filthy and
Oh.
smelled like all tomorrow.
It was pretty bad. It was bad. But yeah, we
That
just
is the
sat there.
best though.
But we had a
were
ride plan,
so happy. We were. I don't think you can hear it on the last part of the video. We were actually laughing as we were coming to the sign.
Oh,
We were just so giddy. You're tired, but you loved it. And on the side note, you're like, it's sad that it's coming to an end too.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to get clean. I'm ready to see my kids.
You
I'm ready
are.
to, ready to see my dog again. I'm
Yeah.
ready to feel clean.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I was ready to get
But
clean.
yeah,
Do you like ice cold stuff? Like I want like something with ice in it after a hot trail. I crave icy cold. That's
I
my
did.
thing. You
Yeah.
didn't. Okay.
I did, but this is going to sound silly, but I was
Just
wearing
not
these
water
same
anymore.
clothes. I
Right.
really
Just not
wanted,
right.
I wanted different clothes.
Yeah.
So I had
Okay.
limited clothes to keep it light.
Right.
So I
sure,
had,
absolutely.
and I really just wanted one of my jeans. I
Yeah.
want to wear jeans
Well,
and a t-shirt.
Jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah,
The clothes
Yeah,
what we
that's what
wore
I
in that
wanted.
picture are the clothes we started in.
yeah.
That's awesome.
They just got washed in town.
That's right. I love
Right
it.
on.
Absolutely.
Here's a
Yeah.
question from Hike with
Hike with
Mike.
Mike.
Excuse me. How do you deal with lightning up in the Alpine
Ooh,
area?
okay.
Yeah, that's one of our biggest fears too. So you plan your day's mileage to get to a place that doesn't put you on a path that late in the day, say anything after 11 to 4 o'clock. That's the high time that if a storm happens, it's going to happen during that time.
Is that right?
So we tried to always put ourselves late in the day before a pass, so we would go up and over in the morning.
But there's an area where
Yeah.
you stay high, segment 23.
Yeah,
Or
20, 22, 23,
Okay.
21. You just
stay
stay
high.
up there. So
And that was my
It's-
fear when we were doing this. I thought, oh, man,
Yeah.
what do we do in those areas? I had this really kind of panicky.
well, we camped at 13,000 a couple of times just because you don't have a choice.
So
Um,
he found places we could go.
Yeah, when we're
Oh.
up there, you're constantly, like when you're walking through the woods, you're constantly looking for the threat of animals.
Right.
Up there, I'm looking for the threat of storms. Where do we go? What's our bailout?
Right.
So, and you get up there and instinct just kicks in. You see where you can go. You know where you can go. You know what the safest choice is going to be. It just happens.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
want to be at the lowest place you can possibly find. And there are plenty of places like that. We were coming across a ridge one day late, and this storm was coming at us, and we were like, oh boy. So we put it in high gear and we just flew. And we got, kind of in this little saddle area where we had two peaks on either side of us. And that was the safest place we could go.
Okay.
Ultimately, nothing really happened. It was fine. But, when you're up on that ridge and there is nowhere to go but down, and you see those storms and you hear that thunder and you're like, we got to make tracks now.
Right.
Miller's constantly scanning. I trust him. He's constantly scanning the clouds. And so he knows and keeps
that
an eye.
Was a big part of planning.
Because we did on a day hike once.
Yeah.
We were chased off a mountain. It was pretty scary. Yeah, the weather was so bad. It was awful. And I remember one point I said, I can't run anymore.
Yeah,
and he's like, well,
that was Lost Lake. And I said something to her that I regret for the rest of my life.
I was not happy.
It was bad. We were going really fast and she's like, hey, wait up. And I turned around and I said something really stupid. It's like, keep up or die.
Jeez.
It was bad.
And, we got back to the car and I'm like, I'm sorry. She goes, I know you meant well, but you could have picked a different way to say that.
I was just
use your words wisely.
It was raining hard. You were trying to not slide and fall down, and you were.
You could see the lightning and you could hear it at the same time.
You could feel it. You can feel it.
It was really scary, but that wasn't on the Colorado Trail. That was somewhere else.
Okay.
Wow,
okay.
yeah.
That was a good question because we don't really have never had that before, like stuck in a storm or whatever.
Colorado
we're usually in the woods.
We are.
Colorado is second to Florida for lightning.
Is that right? Interesting.
And the high country is bad. So part of our planning was to get with a local weatherman that we have here that we've been following along with for years. And we asked him, would it be okay if you kind of kept up with the weather and we'll tell you where we're at? And he did. And I said, if anything ever happens or you see the monsoon season, which when you're hiking the Colorado Trail, the monsoon season is probably the biggest fear of all the hikers.
Right.
So he was watching that for us. And he said, if I see anything, and he's following us because we have our Garmin on so he can track us. Right. If I see anything, I'll let you know. And he never contacted us.
We checked in with him at each town.
Yeah, every now and again we would say, hey, what's going on? This is where we're at. Everything's fine, But he taught us a lot about mountain weather.
Oh, I bet.
What to look for.
Do you know if you've ever heard this? I saw this after we got back, or actually on the trail. If you're going up a mountain, and there's a lot of rocks, the boulders here, right?
Right.
And the storm, even if you don't see anything, if you start hearing popping, cracking in the ground,
it's coming.
There's an electrical. So get back down because that means something's coming. And it was an interesting little tip.
It's kind of like a static discharge is starting to build up. There's no clouds.
When you're saying you're walking out there and you can feel the charge in the air in your hand, you can. Yeah, that's like.
That's crazy.
It's like walking on Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah, I guess.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Wowzers. I like the idea of hooking up with the weatherman. That's a good idea.
It was great.
And that's comforting. That's almost good anywhere you're at because geographically our country's so diverse and the weather patterns are so different. So, wherever you hike, look for your local weatherman that knows that, not somebody that, came from Florida and now lives in Denver, somebody who's been here a long, long time, somebody preferably that grew up here. Yeah. And get with that person and start saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Do you mind if I hit you up with some questions? Or, because the mountain weather, like in Denver, it's not the same weather in the mountains. It's completely different.
Wow.
And in the mountains, you can get a thunderstorm pop over your head within 5 minutes, and it was just blue skies 5 minutes ago.
They had that at I forget which
Mount Bierstadt.
Mount Bierstadt, right?
A couple summers ago, there was a dozen people on the mountain.
Quite a few people,
at the right time of day, mind you.
It was early,
and then within 5 minutes, you had people on the ground that had got struck.
Holy moly!
I think we're okay. I think a dog died.
I think the dog got killed.
I think.
Wow. That's similar to being out in the big lakes here in Michigan. Swells can turn up like that.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Know your environment, really.
Know
right?
your environment. That's
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, off the weather now. So you guys are big photographers.
We have to talk photography. Like, we're excited to chat about this for sure.
We're wanting to get back to it because we've been doing so much video.
Well, we haven't done as much. I think after when we adopted Mia, I stopped taking because Mia we've had her, 4 years?
You got a dog in this arm and the camera's kind of...
Yeah, I had a strap. I carried my camera on. And then I have Mia. So I kind of thought, okay, I just need to deal with Mia because she came with a little bit of baggage.
This is the overlanding connection now.
This is gonna allow us
Our
more
gear
freedom.
our camera gear is so
It's
heavy.
heavy.
It's
Okay.
not something you're going to take on the Colorado Trail.
Okay.
Maybe for a day hike.
David
Sure.
did it. Yeah.
But if we can drive to some of these places and spend multiple days there with our gear,
That's what we have.
You're gonna
big
see some
tripod.
photos.
Yeah.
That's going to be amazing.
yeah,
So
What are
we
you
back up.
What are you guys using right now? Like, for cameras?
that's a Canon 5D Mark IV.
And then we have
And then we also have a Canon 70D. So one's full frame, one's crop.
Okay.
Right.
And then being the purist that, well, probably me, I'm a Canon only lens guy.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
We've, invested in several lenses for several different scenarios and can't wait to really get back to that because we've been doing so much video since the Colorado Trail. And we love doing that. It's fun.
Right.
But photography is like our first love. And I'm so excited to, get this car and the build out done and all the mods done and just
you're gonna have to build some modified drawer system to hold
that's a
all
good
your
idea.
lenses.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to give us information. He has so many plans already.
Did you take classes or go like to art school or anything? Or
No, this is something my mom put in me because she she was an early photographer. She used Canon, and of course back in the day it was just regular film.
Yeah.
But she had several different lenses, and I grew up watching her do this, and it just grew on me that you could get back home and then have all these memories.
Yeah.
And just go, wow, we just did that.
And I love the capturing. This is where Mel and I, we talk about this. To me, this is experiencing together. It's really important. And with my pups, all my pups throughout the years, we have like a tub of pictures, and then we have them on disc, and then now we have a lot of social media. But it was just capturing those memories. They're special.
The biggest rule of thumb to me in photography, with or without a person in that photo, if it evokes emotion, you nailed it.
Right on.
And I don't care if it's a mountain, a fox, an animal, a person. It has to evoke emotion because that's real.
That
and
mama
you
was
just
not happy
captured
doing
that
it.
moment forever.
Look at that mama looking at you taking the picture.
Where was this at?
That is Mount Evans.
Okay.
We were walking the road.
Oh.
They closed the road for a majority of the year because of snow. So when it's closed, you can just walk the road and there's no vehicular traffic whatsoever.
Okay, that's nice.
And we like to do that to keep our bodies used to the altitude, because that's starting about 10,000, and then you can drive to the top of Mount Evans. It's 14,000 feet. But the road offers so many opportunities, views and whatnot. But on this particular day, we kept seeing the shadow off to the side, and we're like, what is that? What is that? And the next thing you know, we see this fox, and we're like, oh my gosh. And then she had 3 kits.
Wow.
2 of them kept going behind the pine tree in the back. They wouldn't come out, but this one did. And it was just a really neat moment.
But she was
she's very
saying,
protective.
"Stay away."
She stayed in between us and her babies.
Yeah, she was
That's
something
amazing.
else.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, hang on. We have to say hi to Brittany.
Hey,
we know you.
Welcome to the party, Brittany. Sorry you had to work late. I love it.
Girl.
So this next picture, I was on Instagram, and I didn't have my glasses on, and I looked, and I was like, "What is this?" And then I had to put my glasses on, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
It's a whole trail of moose.
It's a row of them. They lay down in a row.
They laid down in the reeds. This is a really marshy area next to a lake up in the Indian Peaks Wilderness. And it you know, this is 10,500 feet, but the sun is so intense at times. And this is probably in the middle of the day, actually.
Really?
And they like to lay down in those reeds. Those reeds right there are probably 6-7 feet tall.
Oh,
So they'll get in
wow.
there and they'll lay in the marshy, cool water and just
Sure.
stay there for a
Well,
while.
being that high up, you are closer to the sun.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That is,
I mean,
it's very accurate.
the temperature can be in the 60s and 70s, but that sun
It's intense.
is just so intense. It just makes it feel like it's 90.
Wow.
Wow. I love that photo. It's
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
And the other thing,
That's a great moose area.
This
you can
whole
see
area
the
is our
detail
favorite.
of they still have felt on their antlers.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Our first and probably last love in Colorado will be the Indian Peaks Wilderness.
Okay.
It holds so many memories for us.
If you ever come out, I mean,
Yeah.
people talk about Rocky Mountain, and it is beautiful, the park, but Indian Peaks Wilderness,
It's
it actually
phenomenal.
was supposed to be part of
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain National Park.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not sure the whole story on
Yeah,
it. He knows it better, but it's beautiful.
Indian Peaks is just south of Rocky Mountain National Park. They share a border line with Mount St. Vrain.
Beautiful.
If you climb Mount St. Vrain, you go in and out of both areas.
Okay.
But back in the mining days, when they were making the borders of Rocky Mountain National Park, this area was supposed to be part of the park. But the miners all got together and said, no, we're mining this area. You're not taking this from us. Well, once the mining dried up and Rocky Mountain National Park had already been formed, people got together again and said, we have to protect this area. And it became Indian Peaks Wilderness.
Beautiful. Just-
Nice.
Very nice.
So,
Yeah.
locals' favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I'm telling
you've
you.
got the crowds at Rocky Mountain National Park. You're going to find us in the Indian Peaks Wilderness.
Yeah.
Love it. You mentioned you guys had a GPS. Would it have like your InReach, right?
Yeah,
Garmin.
we use the Garmin
Garmin.
inReach.
So we have one of those too.
Mhm.
And then you also talked about, I think it was one of your videos. I'm trying to think. You guys use walkie-talkies sometimes.
Yep, that's a local company. It's
I
called,
like that.
they're called Rocky Talkies.
Oh, they're
It's
called
kind of a fun-
walkie-talkies. Oh, okay.
Walkie-talkies.
Okay.
And they work so good. They were built and designed around this kind of terrain. A lot of climbers like to use them because they can take the weather, they can take a beating, you could drop them, but site to site, 20 miles easily. In the woods, probably 3 to 5 miles in thick woods.
So who are you communicating
Like
with these?
each you
Each
have
other.
one.
Each other, yeah.
So how far are you ahead of each other then?
That just depends. If we're on trail, we'll just turn them on because sometimes she'll go ahead, sometimes I'll be ahead.
Okay.
And instead of turning around and saying, "Hey, you,"
Yeah.
you can just push the button and say, "Hey, when you get up here,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's going to be really cool." Or
Okay.
you know, don't move. I want to take a picture of you. You know,
Okay.
anything.
Okay.
But-
That's a good idea. I
awesome.
never really thought about that.
That's
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Sometimes
I know.
we'll stay in camp
stay
and
in
we'll have the
camp.
dogs and I'll go for a walk or she'll go for a walk.
Okay.
We'll take the radio with you so we can be in communication.
Right on.
Yeah, that's
I like that
It makes
idea.
a lot of sense.
I know. We should take note of that. I like that.
These are durable. These
These
are,
are
really solid.
very durable radios
Okay.
built for the outdoors.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the and
They're
what's
called Rocky Talkies.
Rocky Talkies.
that's
they're-
the
they're,
that's the
they're-
brand?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a local company here in Colorado.
I'm writing it down.
Rocky.
Got it. Got
Yeah,
it.
great
Fun.
radio.
No, ROC or RAC?
No, Rocky.
Rocky as in the mountains.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like talkie.
I see. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
The talkie is like TA like
It could have
talkie.
been. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Crazy. And you've touched on it a bit tonight already. The next thing is overlanding.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah,
going
we can't
on?
wait. Well,
So what are you driving?
we're third generation Subaru. We
Okay.
love
I've
Subarus.
always
We
loved
did have a
Subarus.
Tacoma for a while,
Oh, I had a taco.
but we had to go back to our Subaru because Subaru is like the car for Colorado.
I
It
love it.
really is.
Are they
So-
everywhere?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But you know, we missed the off-road capability of the Taco.
Right.
And then we started seeing these modified cross treks. And we're like, well, we have a cross trek. We could do that.
Yeah,
There's a group out there called Mountain Roo.
that's
Never
who you.
heard that one.
Yeah,
Never
we'll
heard
make sure you're connected
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna
Um,
love them.
But
Yeah.
and then you
Listening
get to a
to-
trailhead here in Colorado, you'll see Jeeps, you'll see tacos,
But you see Subarus.
you
and
see
it's-
Subarus.
Wow, these little cars that could. Yeah.
And
It's
people
amazing.
get out of their Subarus and you see all the other guys in their modified 4x4s
Big-
looking at you going, how did you get here?
Yeah.
It's a Subaru, man.
I love Subarus, yeah. And so we watched the interview. I can't remember the first one we saw about the overlanding.
Yeah.
We were just like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we're doing it.
yeah.
We're doing it. And
Yeah.
you know, the next thing you know, we're looking at all the LP adventure. I think that might be the one we go with. And you know, then it becomes, well, how do we get bigger rugged tires? But we got to keep
Yeah.
the weight of the wheel down. And you know, we started looking at you guys and we're like, okay, this is a very doable situation. The
Oh,
method
yeah.
wheels work right into that plan.
So we're gonna
you know,
check
oh
out
my
what
gosh.
you guys have and try to figure out
Yeah.
what we need. And we're looking at the rack, the top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the Yakima. It's the basket they have.
Okay.
So
Load
here's
master or something.
here's a little tip trick that if we were going to go with a basket, they have there's one company in China that makes a lot of them for all these small companies. They all have different names and stuff like that, but they're all basically the same. And what I've learned and what people have done to modify it to make it like bulletproof and at a fraction of the cost. It's one of these racks on Amazon. I can't think of it, but I'll find it. I'll send you a link to it. But what they do is they'll assemble it, and when they assemble it, they'll put a silicone seal in the joints because it comes in separate pieces. Right. They'll silicone it together, put it together, bolt it together, and then they do either do gaff tape or Gorilla tape at all the joints. So it says, and then they spray it down with Rhino bed liner. Wow. So it makes it like bulletproof and rust proof.
Definitely a good idea.
And then, throw it up on top instead of just putting it together, because it's made of really inexpensive metal and it rusts super, super easy. But if you do a simple couple things and put that Rhino bed liner on it, or some other, whatever kind of bed liner or spray on there, and just makes it that much robust.
Right. Well, I think
it's a fraction of the cost of paying for a Thule or a Yakima.
But we were saying too, it's like everything else. We always know, people, like my parents were always like, "Oh, you guys are backpackers. Oh, that's so nice and cheap. You have a little backpack." I'm like, "Really, Mom?" You know what I mean? But like anything else, everything's expensive. Like
Yes,
it's crazy. You
like
can get a $1,000 refrigerator. That's not happening. But you know what I mean?
Just sitting down making a wish list, we were like, "And what bank are we robbing?"
Right on. We're all working overtime.
Yep.
Okay. What can we do without? What can we do?
Well, we did get the shower.
You get the shower,
it's kind of fun. I don't know if it's frivolous or not, but it looks fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
We got the Nomad package, so it comes with the sink, and then we got the 2-person tent, so we can use that as a privy and a shower.
Yeah, sure. Love it.
Yep.
When you're peeing in your bucket.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right. We get to get the bucket.
And the pine shavings.
Pine shavings
are the best.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Pine shavings.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what else do we just recently?
We got the solar panel thing.
Oh yeah, we got the solar panel.
Yeah.
That we used a couple of times already just to test it out. We're like, this is perfect.
Is that what we have? What do you guys have again for your battery bank?
It was the River Pro.
EcoFlow.
Oh,
EcoFlow. We got the smaller River Pro in it, and we bought it with a 160 watt panel that folds up, which was a lot smaller than I thought.
Okay.
And we set this thing out back when we unboxed it, and it says, plug it into the wall, and I'm like, nah, it's a sunny day in Colorado, so we threw it outside, and it charged in like 3 hours.
Yeah, so it charges
that's really cool.
Having paired up with the right solar panel with that with the unit, it does make a huge difference.
Oh yeah,
and that's what you have as well.
Yeah.
Our big game changer was getting a fridge.
Yeah.
Did you?
We're talking about
it. We did.
Just because the fact of
ice.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about finding ice to, I mean, and keep your stuff cold. And then when it does, the ice melts, it doesn't get all your food soggy.
Right. Yeah.
So
and there's more room inside the cooler.
And there's more room. That is so true.
Exactly. You have more room for, water and whatever you put in there.
Yeah. John will have to send you like is it a mod list or whatever you want to call it? Like the list of our stuff. So
we'll have an affiliate link below.
There you
Hurry up and get that.
Yeah, because we're
right on.
One of the things that we talk about is the same thing that we've done with all of our hiking and backpacking. We don't like to prepare our meals once we're there. We like everything to be clean and simple. So we would want to make meals here at home, and then freeze them or refrigerate them so that they're ready to go when we get out there.
Yep.
Well, that's what I was the couple you interviewed that I want to say this Live Today, but I think
Live Today Wonderland.
And they made the food. Is that the ones that they made the food?
Yes.
And
Yes.
It was egg rolls or spring rolls or something. I thought, this is a good idea.
Yeah, heck yeah.
To make the food, and then if we have a fridge.
Right. And when we are going out when it's temperate, we tend to cook and build meals. If it's winter camping, we're bringing like chili in a pot and we're heating it up. Like everything's ready to go. You know what I mean? Like we're not like chopping up anything outside in the winter.
We're just dreamers right now. So I'm sure that'll change once we get out there.
Right on.
Because we're excited to do that.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
On the CT, that's what we started discussing. At least I did. I said, I would like to be able to go further distance.
I mean, we're evolving once again.
Yes,
at first we were car campers, and then our kids got older. We became day hikers, and then they got older still, and we started doing backpacking.
Right.
Wound up doing the Colorado Trail, and it just seems like we're at a transitory place again, where we're like, well, what else do you want to do?
On to the next chapter. It's car camping.
Yeah.
We want to go east. I thought I want to go east a little bit too. We've not done that.
Okay.
Okay. Retirement's not too far away, so we've got these great plans to really travel and see all the diversity of the country.
The country has so much to see.
We know some people that live out east around the Great Lakes area that we'd like some pointers from. Hint.
We got absolutely.
There's probably some canoes or kayaks in our future somewhere in there.
Yes.
And apparently there's great paddles you can get somewhere.
Beautiful paddles. Oh yeah, gorgeous.
Don't even go there.
I didn't realize you could get these these paddles.
Oh yeah,
I thought they were just paddles. I didn't know that.
No, you can get fancy pants paddles for sure.
I've been on one canoe trip in my life.
Okay.
And it was like a Coleman canoe, fiberglass, and I don't even know what the paddles were.
Sure.
I was probably 12 years old. My mom had this great adventure planned. We did the Guadalupe River in Texas. It was like a 3-day trip.
Wow.
And, I thought she was nuts. But I'm like, okay, let's go, So we went out there for 3 days, didn't see anyone. We slept on sandbars at night. And we ate food out there, made campfires. And I was like, it stuck with me. One day I'll do that again.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not in Texas because it was buggy and hot and snakes and
No. You may have to come to Canada with us then. It'll be fun there. Absolutely.
Yeah. There's still bugs.
Well, there is. But what is your next trip? What are you planning now? Like, what's your next?
Well, we definitely need to go back to the Colorado Trail and do the West Collegiate.
Okay.
Either the West Collegiate itself or the entire loop doing the east again. Probably not, if we can find it logistically possible.
So. Okay.
Segment 24 was another place we want to go back to because we had to take an alternate into Silverton.
You have an alternate.
The trail had like 3 or 4 major avalanches, and it was almost impassable.
People were doing
it. Wow.
And we were so close to the end. I don't want to get hurt here and then have to stop.
I had an Achilles issue due to some bad shoe choices.
So we took the alternate into Silverton, and we want to go back and see what that's all about.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful.
I'm sure Snackbox is still in the chat, and it's his fault that we're still going to go back and do that.
Right on.
Or West, Collegiate West.
Collegiate West for
West.
sure.
Okay.
You know, 24 as well. I think, well, they were talking about it last week in his chat.
Right.
And, you know, Details was talking about how many switchbacks there are down into this thing. And we're just like, we don't know. We haven't seen it. We want to go back so bad.
Right.
Picture me was showed the video. I remember coming up to 24, looking down, going, wow.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't have a problem necessarily. I thought, man, it's a draw. It's a draw.
Those, there was a hike that we did last year. We did 3 hikes back to back in a really short amount of time.
Okay.
And Details
together.
Definitely. Yeah. Bring Remy. We all go out there with some chihuahuas.
That would be fun.
There was one of the third hikes last year, because we did 3 successive hikes back to back, and it was getting to be too much for the dogs.
Got you.
I went and did a hike by myself, and this was the Pawnee Buchanan Pass Loop. It's on the YouTube channel.
Right. I want to do it with.
And this was like, you know, I'm not big on the term bucket list, but yeah, it was a bucket list hike. And 27 miles, 2 passes, like 8,000 feet of gain and loss. It was a big, aggressive hike. You know, and you could do it overnight, because I did. But theoretically, if you really want to do this one right, you want to do it in 2 or 3 days, because it's so beautiful. It's so amazing. It's the Alps of Colorado, and they're close.
I like that.
It's not far away from Denver, so it's an easy trail to get to, but it's a very aggressive hike. And I got halfway done with this hike, and I'm like, I hate this. She's not here, and I cannot stand it.
Right.
That's the first time I had hiked in probably 30 years alone. And I just didn't like it. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, now I have all these memories, but who do I share them with?
Right.
I can't talk to her about it. She didn't go. And that's something we don't like.
It would have been tough with the dogs, though, because the newer dog is also a rescue, and she has a little bit of baggage.
We want to go back, and that's probably one we will definitely do this summer. We want to go back and do that with the dogs together the right way.
Nice.
You know, those are 3 hikes that are definitely on the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other than getting the car.
Okay. What about an overlanding trip? Where's that going? Where's your first?
Well, we're actually in the process. We have all these 4-wheel drive road books.
Woo!
You know, that we've been looking at certain places, and where can we go and where should we go? And that's on top of places we already know we can go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We've been there.
Yeah, there's some good apps out there. I mean, there's Gaia, and then there's Onyx.
Have you heard of Onyx?
And
yeah.
And another good one is Avenza app, where it utilizes up here, you know, it's a lot of logging trails and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's not an interactive style map. It's just basically maps of the roads and what can be what you can drive on. You know, you have to be, if you're got to be less than 50 inches, you know, you can be on these trails, and that sort of thing.
That's super important out here, because these roads are just littered with rocks.
Right.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, we need a whole list from you guys. What you guys have done.
But do you have to have like an ORV license then out there too? Probably to go on the roads? No, you don't think so. Okay.
We technically don't need one.
Oh, we don't?
Not to go on the forestry roads and stuff like that. We don't, but
Oh.
I mean, there are some that do require it,
Okay.
so I just pay for it anyways.
Got you. Okay.
And
I'm not sure that we're going to be driving through giant puddles of water where it
I don't
looks like
think we
you're.
wanted to either. That was unintended.
Oh my God! When we saw that, we're like, "Oh my gosh, she's going in!"
I know.
I was like, oh, good, and then Jack's nose went dip. I was like,
oh my God!
I punched the gas as hard as I could, and I was like,
oh my God!
Crazy.
And I
thank God for the bike flag. We can find him.
You're funny. I know the bike flag. Okay, so if we were to come visit you, where would you take us?
Indian Peaks Wilderness.
Oh, wow. You didn't even think twice.
No, I knew he was going to say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's so many trails in it. There's a lot of trails. And
I mean, you could hike for the rest of your life in Colorado and never get them all.
Okay.
We are just so amazingly blessed to be able to live here,
Right.
because there's
It's
so
our,
much.
Our taste. This
Yeah.
is what we
And it's
Alpine.
just, but our heart is in the Indian Peaks Wilderness.
Beautiful.
And that's where we take anyone who comes to visit us. That's where we take them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, consider us visitors.
Yeah.
Well, come on down. You got it.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
You guys should come out.
Anytime.
Yeah.
But we're always good to go.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure it's nothing that'll, it'll be above 10,000, but it won't kill you, because we'll pick the right trail.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love that.
We'd have to do some elevation training.
I know. We need to do some training in general right now.
Heck, I mean, I think our highlights elevations like what? And on some of our trails is only like 800 feet.
I don't know. It's higher than that, but I don't know.
You spend a couple of days in the Denver area and get used to the mile high, and then we'll go out and we'll pick a trail that will definitely be doable for all of us.
I think it sounds fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's beautiful.
We got some secrets in our back pockets.
You have secrets in your back pockets?
We'll never tell.
I love the altitude.
Right? Yeah, we have a few little camp spots like that too that are just like coordinates, and we're like, well, we like to share them all the time. You know what I mean? So
these are places I'm like, I don't even know how to tell you to get there, but I know how to get there.
I like that.
Right.
That's really good. That's amazing. You guys have been so much fun. Holy moly.
I know.
Happy anniversary, you guys. I think that's, I thought,
thank you.
We gave up our cable bill and we just watched now. We're like, is it Thursday yet? Who they have?
Right.
And now it's like, they're taking the summer off. What are we going to do?
You're going to travel on the summer. Come on. You got things going on. But thank you. No, that's awesome.
Yes.
But same thing. We don't have cable either. No.
I dropped that a while ago. I mean, the only thing I miss is watching my sports.
Oh, there you go. A little bit you do.
I mean, primarily I'm missing my hockey.
There you go.
That's my
exactly
thing.
Wonderful. Well, we had some awesome questions tonight.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's some real good questions.
I know. And thanks for answering them for everybody too. The lightning question was good. The food stuff. That's always a nice eye opener. You know what I mean?
And not everybody's a vegetarian on the trail. So
no, or even just, gluten-free or vegan or whatever it is. There's a bit of a learning curve for all that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, that's nice to know that there's options. And like I said, I've never heard of Harmony House, so that's exciting for us to check out too. And that's what I love about the conversation. You know what I mean? We always learn from each other, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And I always watch the rewind. I go, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I write that down or whatever, which is kind of cool. So yeah, thank you so much for popping on and hanging out with us again.
Thank you guys for doing this. Every week we're getting something.
Oh, I love hearing stories. To me, that's the best part.
The experiences and the stories are just fabulous.
And it's the couple thing, and people think it's a phenomenon, and it really isn't.
There's just not a lot out there. So when we found your channel, it was like, oh my gosh, perfect.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back at you for sure. So thank you so much. So anyways, you have their stuff in the chat there, hon. Yeah, he's going to put their link in the chat, right? So you're on YouTube. How can everybody find you?
Just go to YouTube and type in MAD Hippies Life.
Okay.
You can go to Instagram, MAD Hippies Life.
Yep.
Twitter, MAD Hippies Life. Okay. Everything's the same. We have our blog that we write up our longer trips in the Colorado Trail. We went into detail on the blog with all of that stuff.
Right, but that's like on the web. That's your website, right?
Yeah, madhippieslife.com.
Right.
So we go into detail when it comes to that stuff.
Right.
So.
Right.
Some people are readers, some people are video people.
Yeah, right. Well, but going back to the photography stuff just quickly, we ran into a guy on Isle Royal, and he was a photographer, Jim, and he has a Flickr account that he gave us like access to go and look through all of his photos. Do you have that?
We played with it a couple of times.
Okay.
It was just one more thing to deal with.
I know.
It really is a good place to share your photos because they don't, crunch them down and shrink them down, and you really get the clarity a lot better on sites like that.
Okay.
It's just one more thing.
I know.
We had Facebook at the time, and he got rid of his Facebook. So
we got 3 external hard drives now, just full of photos.
Right? I know. And the videos and everything else, right? Yeah. So you have it in the link there, hon? Oh, he just popped it in. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I got their Instagram and their YouTube in there.
Okay, good. Awesome. Wonderful. Well,
Okay.
everybody, make sure you go and check out Miller and Debbie. Mad Hippies Life. I feel like we could talk forever, but I feel like it's not our final conversation, though, which is...
Well, there could be a part 2.
There could be a part 2.
No, there will be a part 2.
No, there will be. I like that. Absolutely.
And
Very
we want
good.
an overlanding list. We
Well,
need
yeah, well,
overlanding-
it might turn into a reverse interview.
Yes, because we have all kinds of
Oh, we
questions.
could do that too. We could do that too. But I just said, like, so last week we were chatting with Jason and Melissa, and they're the same thing. They're like, we just need to like video talk. Like, it's just nice. You know what I mean?
Well,
Not even just-
here's an idea for you for your season closer.
Oh,
Bring in your favorites. I don't know how many
how many you've had?
StreamYard will allow you to have, but you could have the best of season 1.
Yeah, that's a
We've-
good idea.
We thought about that. Colleen wants to do Hollywood Square style.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
us in the middle, then we have like everybody around us. I don't know. I have no idea what that
I'm
means.
thinking Brady Bunch. I'm thinking the Brady Bunch song right now.
Our same thing, exactly, right?
There's
We
your
all relate to
story.
it.
Have a lovely lady.
Awesome. Well, stick around. John's
Yeah.
gonna pop you down.
We're
All right.
gonna do a little outro
We'll
here.
do a little outro and
again,
yeah.
Thanks so much for coming on the
So
show.
much fun.
Thank you, and thank everybody. I know there's a
Thank
lot of
you.
great people in the chat tonight.
There
Yes.
is a lot of good people. I
Yes.
agree.
There's been a lot of great people.
Good comments, and it's always interactive, and it's just awesome.
Cool.
Real people doing real stuff. I always say
That's
it's
right.
a true story. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely. All right, y'all.
all right,
Hang
thank
tight.
you so much.
Well, that was awesome.
Right on. And look at this. Don Kelly says, great idea. I like the best of season 1. All right. Oh boy, look what you started, Miller. I love it.
Okay, we've had 38
So,
episodes.
because we're going to be 42 by the end of for June the 2nd. Okay, so
We might have to break that up into 2
I don't know how
parts.
we're going to do that. Maybe we'll drop people of a hat. I don't know. Anyways, this has been awesome. Super fun.
But then
Again,
you can have people that's like, well, I wanted to be on the show with that couple.
I
I'm like,
know. Maybe we can't call it the best of. We'll have to call it, I don't know. I don't know. Something fun like that. We're listening. High details.
It's like we'll just call it a free.
I know. Awesome.
Anyways.
Well, thank you.
Really quick.
What you got?
I have to do if she's listening. Hi, Chris, from one of my hospitals I was working at today.
Oh,
She-
right.
So
Right. I forgot.
good luck
yeah.
on the Airstream build.
That's really
I
cool.
told her
Right.
I
Hi,
told her-
Chris.
I
I had
told-
never met you yet, but hey.
No, she's met you plenty of times.
Uh-oh.
She watches.
Oh, on YouTube. I'm like, wait a minute. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with us once again. Another fun backcountry couples.
Yes.
And
Make sure-
excited.
Check out our sponsor, McQuickFires.com.
Yeah, go check them out. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, they're amazing. You're gonna love them. We love them.
Give it a try. You will not regret
Right.
it.
And
we have actually people in the chat that have used them and test them.
that's right.
They have their own testimonies.
testimonials.
Testimonials.
That's right. That's right.
And of course, if you do so, KeelQuest 15% off. Boom.
Right.
.com.
So another good week.
Great week.
And we have like I said, we have 2 more weeks to fill before the season is done, which is kind of wild
For season 1.
for season 1.
That's
I
not
know.
done.
No, I know, but
You
it's
made it
just,
sound like that.
I know it does sound a little. I'm kind of
That's when
sad.
people are going to start saying, "What the hell? Are we
What's
gonna
going
do
on?
What are we supposed to do on Thursday night now?"
Watch the rewind, right? Anyways, thanks so much, everybody, hanging out. It was awesome
Well,
again.
if they did watch every
and-
single rewind, that's 42 weeks. That could carry them into season 2.
Easily. Season
There
2
you go.
starts in
Start
September.
at the beginning.
Great,
Watch
easy.
them all.
Wonderful. So I just want to say happy anniversary again.
Yes, to my adventure partner in life,
We are adventure
which
partners.
I cannot take full credit for that because she coined that phrase when she was a TV celebrity
Yes, that
a
is a true story.
a few years ago.
Yes.
But that's for another day.
yeah, that is a YouTube video, kind of, sort of. It was a short I made.
It was a short.
I did. You can go check that out if you want some background info on me. But anyways.
Do a little digging.
I did say that John was my adventure partner in life. So, and kind of what Miller and Debbie were saying, it is, there's lots of people that go solo out there or do with the guys, do with the girls. There is just something special about doing stuff together.
Right. Who wants to come home and say, you should have been there? It's like,
Yeah. So there is
Really?
something about
No,
doing it
I
together.
don't want to see that.
And it's nice that we've been finding backcountry couples, and they've been, finding us, and we're able to share stories with
I like to
all
sit
people
around
who
a
are
fire with
tuning
a
in.
cold beer and say, what was your best part of the trip? And we
Oh,
like
see?
this, that. The reminiscence of
Yeah,
what you
that
did.
is really, really good. So happy Thursday, everybody. Enjoy your weekend ahead.
Mhm.
And be sure to check
It's
out
going to be
Debbie
cold, wet, and miserable up
and
here.
Miller for
Springtime
MAD
has not
Hippies
come.
Life. It's going to be cold this weekend up here. Exactly.
I know. I was going
All
to
right.
work on the car, but that's not happening.
Right on. Okay. Thanks again very much, everybody.
Thank you all. You have a blessed weekend.
Yes.
We will see you on the next quest.
Cheers.
Peace out, Cub Scouts.